Today's notes will be on conjunctions. Conjunctions join words, phrases, or sentences together. There are three types of conjunctions that we're going to focus on. So I went on ahead and separated my paper into three parts. So I made like this Y shape and then a line going straight down my paper. So the three conjunctions that we're going to focus on are correlative, subordinate, and coordinating. So go ahead and write that on your paper. When talking about correlative conjunctions, there are only 5 pairs. They need no comma in a sentence. Here are the 5 pairs. Not only, but also, neither, nor, both, and, whether, or, and either, or. Here's an example sentence that I wrote for the correlative conjunction whether or. And I used it as a complex sentence, so there is a comma here in the middle. My sentence is, whether it rains or not, we're going. So whether is at the very beginning of the sentence and or is here. Even though there are words in between the two conjunctions, these are still a pair. Whether and or are the conjunctions for correlative here. Moving on to subordinate conjunctions. Subordinate conjunctions can start a complex sentence. Here is what it would look like if you were doing that sentence pattern with a subordinate conjunction. The subordinate clause could go first, and then you would have the main clause. And of course, these two could flip, and you could have the main clause first in the sentence, and then the subordinate clause. And here are some examples of the subordinate clause words. Here are the words for the subordinate conjunctions. And like I said, these words can start a complex sentence with a subordinate clause. An example would be, if you complete your homework, you can watch TV. My subordinate conjunction is if. I'll go ahead and circle it. I use the word if as my subordinate conjunction, and here I did use it to start the complex sentence. And like I said, you could switch it. I could start with the word you. You can watch TV and then say, if you complete your homework. And this sentence would still make sense. So subordinate conjunctions can be at the very beginning or in the middle of the sentence if you started in the second half of the sentence. Here for the coordinating conjunction, there's typically one per sentence, and it joins two simple sentences to create a compound sentence. An acronym that's used for the most common coordinating conjunctions is fanboys. So we've got for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Each of these can be used as a coordinating conjunction. When you use these as a coordinating conjunction, there are specific meanings that these have. I'll go ahead and write those. Here is what I'm saying. If you're going to use the word for as a coordinating conjunction, after you use the word for, the cause is going to come after it. For example, I could say, I became a teacher for I love children and watching them learn. Another word that could be used for the word for, you can replace this with the word because. If the word because makes sense, then you know that you're using it correctly because for is equal to a cause. If you're using the word and, you're saying that on both sides of your compound sentence, you're including more information. For example, I love pizza and I love cake. Some people also use the word and in a simple sentence. I love pizza and ice cream. So I'm using it in addition, or I'm saying both of them are the things that I like. When you're using the word nor in a coordinating conjunction, you want to make sure that on either side of the compound sentence, there's no choice. For example, you will not have computer time, nor will you have outside time today. So you get no choice here. When you're using the words but and yet, they have the same value, as in on one side of the compound sentence you have a positive thing, and on the other side of the conjunction there's a negative. For example, I love to go to school, but I don't like to take tests. If I use the word yet, I could say, that is my favorite shirt, yet I only wear it on special occasions. So there's a positive and a negative when you're using the word but and yet as coordinating conjunctions. And then when you're using the word so, there's often an effect that's going to come after the word so in your compound sentence. For example, if I said, Tammy was late for school, so she had to be a car rider for the day. So you've got the so here, or the effect. Some people can sometimes confuse the for and the so, but you have to make sure that for when you're using for, that word because could be used there because a cause is going to come afterwards. So this is what my paper is looking like so far. I did not write a sentence here, but I did say a few sentences. So go ahead on your own and use one of these words in a compound sentence where you have two complete simple sentences joined together by a conjunction. And then you will be finished with your conjunction notes.